Very nice meeting you today, first of all. So I
Yeah.
just want you to introduce yourself a little bit about what you're doing, what your career is, uh, about RAG, I believe. That's the topic.
RAG, you mean RAG?
Yes, rad.
Yes. Oh, yes. So quick recap. I'm senior software engineer at AWS,
Mm-hmm.
and specifically, I'm leading one of the service called Quick Suite, which is a generative AI based service which we offer to our end customers. So we most of our customers are pretty large scale enterprises like Accenture, DXC, like a lot of insurance companies that uses AWS. So we offer this service as one of the generative AI offering, um, where these enterprises bring their like terabytes of data to a
Uh,
platform, and we hook them in our service basically, and we they can offer this chat-based agentic interaction to their end customers. So let's say Accenture have their wide range of customers, or even their corporate users, like within their company. They want to have their internal user have access to all the data and have chat interactions with it. So if you think if any enterprise want to do this, they have to build their own service, like deploy LLM models and ingest this large amount of data.
mm-hmm.
Whereas because of this service, they can just come to our service, sign up, and because their data is already within AWS, all I need to give is like just access to our service, and we will ingest the all large amount of data that corporate has, and we give them the like chat based interactions. So you can think of it as a chat GPT similar
Mm-hmm.
solution, but specifically custom built for enterprises within their scope of their data. And
Okay.
it's there are a lot of guardrails and granularity like controls given to enterprises, like access based, like salesperson gets certain amount of control like data. uh,
Mm-hmm.
so if the same question is asked by different personas, we make sure that they get appropriate information, because each user has only scope down permissions. So basically, this is offering for specifically focused on enterprises, and the rack comes into picture where, because they brought lot of data in terabytes of size, it is very important for us to like inject them correctly in the context of LLM models. So our
Yes.
service whole goal is to make sure that we are able to optimize and correctly inject this context in like RAG based context into the LLM answers. And yeah, I'm one of the senior engineer. I am architecting the certain portion of this conversational agents, we call it. And yeah, there are a lot of learnings when building this RAG system at large scale, because when you see prototypes, some demo, it's very
Mm.
impressive. But when you try to deploy them in production, there are a lot of things that can go wrong. And historically saying, we never building these kind of services, because these are a kind of high latency generative AI services. This is the first time we are building these, so there are a lot of learnings. So yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. That you talked about users send a lot of data for you
Yeah.
to feed into the LM, I believe,
Yeah.
right? But so RAG, I never heard of that, and I think a lot of people never heard. Can you just explain what's the difference of RAG and LM?
Yeah. So LLM is basically, you can think of as any model like GPT or Anthropic Claude models. But models are trained on certain like historical data, right? Once they are released, they're new, they don't have new knowledge. Basically, or any custom knowledge that enterprise like proprietary data. Let's say some company has their sales data that LLM doesn't have knowledge about. LLM only knows that what was it was trained upon, and there's a cutoff date that after that it doesn't have access to the newer data. So only using LLM is not sufficient. So let's say some
Okay.
salesperson asks that, tell me the like my most recent sale, like in total. and what was the improvement the previous month. So this LLM model can't inherently answer this question. So we have to feed this sales report to this LLM model, and just not sales report. Person may ask that, also on top of it, compared to my stock prices that is listed on the NYC. So New York Stock Exchange, basically. So
Oh.
it need to make a external calls too, like a tool calls that fetches the live stock data and compare to the sales that try to find correlation between them. So in this case, the LLM only is not sufficient. LLM has to work with the given data the
Mm-hmm.
that customer has, and any tool like external data that is available to it. So we call it RAG, like retrieval augmented generation. Basically, we retrieve the embeddings of this data from the given sources, different sources, like large amount of uh, data sources, and prepare the context that, okay, apart on this prompt, this is the most suitable phrases we can find across the data sources, and then we feed it to the LLM. So this time when LLM answers along with prompt, it sees this context, and that's what actually helps LLM to answer correctly. Because without this context, it will just hallucinate most of the time. It will make up something else,
Oh,
or try to
yes.
find from the Google, and mostly it will give you the wrong answer.
Okay. So can I think of RAD like LLM, but you provide the correct data you need to answer?
So it's, yeah, I mean, you will provide lot of data. You don't know what is actually in there, but this RAG will try to find all the relevant information. So the whole goal of RAG is to reduce the hallucination. Like, almost if you just
Oh,
use LLM, there's 80% chance it will hallucinate. With RAG, it reduces to 20%. It will make sure that it only focus on the correct embeddings that it finds from the vector DB.
okay. So you said hallucination. That's really interesting. So when I ask AI, sometimes when I ask a really hard question, the AI
Yeah,
starts to make up their own answer.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'm really curious. Why don't the AI say like I don't know instead of making up the answers? Do you
Correct,
know why
correct,
is
correct.
it?
So it depends how model was trained. So when we use in this our AWS enterprise terms, we don't want it to fake it, because
Mm-hmm.
giving the fake answer or wrong answer is much more harmful to our end users, and of course enterprise don't want it. So we give them control that like, do you want to strictly give answers from your data? Do you want to give answers from your data plus like external global knowledge, or you want to give answers from completely from global knowledge? So this kind of fine grained control we give it to our enterprise customers, that you can choose how this bot will behave to end customers. So yeah, I mean, most of the publicly available model, they will try to answer. Basically, they don't want you to
Oh,
disappoint you most of the time. So they will
oh,
answer. But here in the enterprise world, we don't want that. We want to make sure that it only answers correctly when it has the actual citation. So what we do to make sure that it's actually grounded answer,
mhm.
whatever the answer it prepares, each line or each phrase, paragraph is supported by citation, that this is where I found the answer from. So this way the all answers are grounded, and there is no, I mean, there's a very less chance that it will hallucinate. Otherwise, without
Okay.
citation, it just hallucinate.
I got you. I got you. So this is like trying to be very accurate and only give
Yeah,
the correct thing. Um,
yeah.
I'm actually really interested in your business. Can you give an example of what kind of people would like to use your service using RAD?
Yeah, sure. So there are few enterprises, mainly the enterprises I see is using the purpose for preparing like ingesting large amount of sales data, or insurance companies who have like large amount of claim data that they want to find patterns upon, or try to do analysis on top of it. So apart from this RAG, I mean, of course we have like it's large offering, so we can create a dashboards, like generate analytics reports out of it. We also offer like a artifact generation. So you can say that, okay, ingest this all data and generate me month wise a report, and like generate me a whole graph or something. So this will generate an artifact for you. The use case are mostly the enterprises who are trying to like work with large amount of data, and there are very few customers who tried who have smaller use cases, like individual person like me, that yeah, I have my study material, and you know I index it once I bring it to this platform. If I make like ask questions out of it, it will answer from whatever the books that I have ingested on my index. So but this is a very small use case, and which I haven't seen that frequently. Most of them are enterprises trying to uh, offer this as a solution to their end customers. So what they do is like we give them option to rebrand it. So even though it's our service, they can put their logo, their name, their privacy criteria in the bottom, and make a like a rebranded chatbot and offer to their end customers. So if you go to, let's say, DoorDash, so DoorDash, you might see on the right side a small bot or something that is asking you like, do you need help? It's actually a AWS service underneath, but branded as a DoorDash bot on top of it. So,
Okay.
I mean, this is the way enterprise, we give this solution to enterprise out of box, and giving them their control to them to rebrand it basically. So these are the major enterprise use cases I can think of.
These days. Interesting. So, oh, you tell me a lot about a lot of this. I never noticed these. Okay, so I think we're done with the our rad thing, and then now here are some student specific questions because
Mhm.
we're all interested in how did you manage to learn all of these and get into these kind of jobs. So the first thing I want to ask is right now we have so many things to learn. For example,
Mhm.
if you want to make a website, there's so many tutorials out there and so many organizations.
Hmm.
What cost you to learn uh, uh, the things you're doing right now, and why did you start it?
So actually, I'm a software engineer here. So we've been working on previously reinforcement learning based techniques services, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But as we saw, the industry is moving towards these generative AI based models. So overall, our like organization delivered direction changed, that we need to prioritize the generative AI based solution compared to other techniques that we historically been using. So previously we had like AWS SageMaker, AWS RoboMaker. These are the services that were based on different previous ML technologies like reinforcement learning, supervised learning. But now, since this came out, the everything whole paradigm has changed, because if we don't take this opportunity, we will be behind. So each of us, like engineers, were asked to ramp up on this technology and learn that what we can use for our, like what is useful from our customers perspective. So that's when we and the product teams like do this brainstorming and find out that our customers will be most interested in the using LLM for their large scale data. And but when we tried out the initial iteration or just using LLM, then we found that the hallucination is like a biggest problem. And that's when we started like learning about different techniques to reduce finding the accuracy of the answers. So we have like different benchmark within our company that we try to make sure that before we release this service to end customer, it need to make sure that uh, it has to like this level of accuracy and everything. So that's when we started exploring more and more options, more and more techniques. And I would say there is no one guide or one book that can tell you that okay, learn this and you are done. The thing is, the new and new technology is coming like every month. If you see Anthropic releasing model every couple of months, and the skills are coming into picture, the MCP tools. So there are a lot many things that are coming into picture, and they are actually needed in the real world. The
Mm.
only way is like keep learning. Otherwise, if you stop, you become outdated immediately. So
Oh,
have the basic clear. Like you need to learn statistics a bit. You need to learn these basic techniques, supervised, unsupervised learnings. But once you learn that, um, you have to keep up with this market to keep you updated. Otherwise, since if we lose track of the latest techniques, basically our product will fall behind and it won't be
Okay.
adopted in industry.
Wow. I didn't expect that because at first I thought if you want to do something, you just learn in one direction and learn only these type of things. So you were saying to learn a broad sense of what the technological concepts is, right?
Yeah,
By learning a lot
I
of
would say
different
start
things.
with basics, but once you have got hold of basics like ML techniques or statistics, pick up any course that will give you the basic idea. Then
Okay.
you can start like jumping into the generative AI techniques, like how you can optimize your models, fine tuning. But yeah, having
Okay.
basics helps, I feel, because that's where I started, and it still helps me, like gives me broader perspective.
Wow. So you said learn with courses. Did you learn on yourself or use some resource to help you learn?
So there are like abundant of resources. I would say actually it's confusing which one to choose. Like even within our company, there are certain online course offerings that you can learn. And actually, I did my masters, and during that, I learned some basics portion of the machine learning, which are still in like in today's world there. So I started from there. Then I learned during my initial years at Amazon. So yeah, I mean there is like wide range of courses available. So I can say that just pick any that will help you learn the basics. Having the basics is help, but otherwise afterwards it's up to you that which portion you are more interested in. So many time there are branches within this technique like technology. So some people choose to focus on lesser supervised learning, some people choose to focus on reinforcement learning, and once you go deeper you find more and more about it. And yeah, I mean basically as an engineer we try to implement it. So when we implement these theoretical methods, actually the implementation is much harder
Much harder. Yeah.
unless you understand it correctly. So yeah, I mean you need to have thoroughly that understanding of that technique before you implement.
Okay. So the implement is much harder than the concepts, right? Do you think
Yeah.
it's still worth it? Because right now, wait, actually, when you started learning these things, is AI a thing? Did AI exist when you
No,
were
it
learning?
wasn't there initial. I mean this I would say models came in picture like last 2 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
Previously we didn't have these intelligent models, so everything like you have to learn, go through books or online articles yourself, look at the videos.
Wow.
um, but yeah, now it has become much more faster because everything is at your fingertip, right? You can ask question and it will answer you in a minute, in a few seconds. So
Mm,
yeah, I mean it
okay.
wasn't there, but now I think the because of this technology, the pace is increased everywhere, like development and even the learning. So learning is faster,
Mhm.
and also the learning curve is sharper.
Oh yeah, right. Like AI changes so many things, including how we
Yep.
learn. Wait, so I saw a lot of videos online that says AI is taking over all the developers' job. Do you think how did AI affect your career? Do you think it will eventually dominate people and take over the technical fields?
No, actually, it is reshaping our at least the software industry, I would say. The team used to take what a 3 month goal. Today they deliver in like 20 day or something. So the pace has like drastically decreased. The people are pushing code changes like a 3 to 4 code review a day, like a junior engineers. Because of these models, all they need to do is like prepare the skill correctly and give the specs file correctly and make sure a test are written correctly. All they need to do is like validate. Most of the code is written by AI. They need to make sure that they understand that code. But overall, the pace is like 10 times faster, I would say. So we
Okay.
need less number of engineers, but we still need it. AI is very good at doing in a small, bounded area.
Mhm.
So let's say you have one component or one package where if you give the context, it does very well job of making the code over there, like writing the APIs, writing the database layer. But as soon as in the large enterprises like Amazon or everything anywhere else, it's not one service. There are at least 20 to 30 service working together. So at that time, the AI loses the context because it doesn't have knowledge of other packages or others implementations. And so what happens is either it misses certain scenarios, and as a senior engineer or even the junior engineer are supposed to catch it. So it's not like it will completely replace software engineers. I think we are still not yet there, but it definitely empowers engineers to do much more.
Okay. So you would say that AI didn't take away the job, but actually helped the job a lot?
It helps engineers, so we need less number of engineers actually.
Oh,
So we need
yes.
we hire less now compared to what we used to previously.
Mm.
We deliver faster now what we used to deliver previously, but uh, the people who are here for a longer period, they have more and more, like they are needed certainly because they are the one who has context, so they can work with these models and make the more output out of it.
Oh, okay. So, like AI generates, do you know, vibe coding? People
Yeah.
right now do this all day. AI just generates a lot of code. But how would you say that? What skills do we need to know in a world full of AI that generates your code? Like, what's something that AI can't do, but we must learn?
No, so AI, I mean, to effectively use these models also, you need to learn how to write prompt correctly, learn
Mm.
prompt engineering, learn context engineering, how to give more context to your models, learn how to skills basically. So more skills you write, basically all you need to do is like trigger the skill, and yeah, it will do the appropriate job. So you need to have this, like how you write specs better so your model performs much cleaner, because otherwise if you give half baked prompt or something without much context, it will do the work, but most of the time it will be incomplete, or you have to debug it, and you spend more time debugging than actually writing the code. So
Okay.
you need to learn, make sure that how to effectively use this prompt and context engineering.
Interesting. Okay. So, as our my final question, we're all
Mhm,
students. So, let's say you go back to when you started your career, like started to learn everything.
mhm.
What's something you would have done differently, or some advice you would give to your past self that perhaps you made some mistake and want to change it?
Um, yeah, I mean, so what happens is, luckily, I think in Amazon is a good place to learn new technology because we try to adopt whatever comes on our way, like in the market also. What I think sometimes I miss is learning what is externally available. So because I work for AWS, most of my expertise is with AWS platform. Like I know a lot of things, how to scale here, whereas I could have spent more time learning what is out there, like which is outside AWS ecosystem. So AWS is one cloud platform, right? There are multiple of them, and so your skills and your expertise should be independent of platform if possible. I know it's not easy because my job is solely depends upon the AWS and its architecture. But yeah, if given opportunity or time, I would learn more like a generic way, then instead of like just focused on the what my job dictates.
Oh, okay. That's a really good advice to us students. Okay,
Yeah,
so I think that's all the questions, and thank you so much for coming.
yeah.
You'll like inspire a lot of people. And okay, I'm gonna pass it to Courtney, and thank you so much.
Thank you.